Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the best level 20 healer build guide in Baldur's Gate 3, which is going to be a combination of the Cleric and the Artificer mod made by Echo000. It's in the in-game mod manager, so I'd highly recommend downloading this and the level 20 mod to be able to create this. I was requested to do this and I've hummed and hawed and went and tested a bunch of different builds, and I think that this is actually the strongest version of it. So we're going to start off as a Cleric, and obviously we're going to go life domain. That just makes the most sense here. For the cantrips, it's good to have resistance for the increases saving throws and guidance. That just makes sense for a healer, for the kind of support that they would like to bring to the table. And for the life domain, you get yourself Cure Wounds, Bless, and Ceremony if you got Mistress Spells mod installed. And you also get the Disciple of Life. So your devotion empowers your healing skills. Whenever you cast a healing spell, the target gets an additional health points equals to 2 plus a spell's level. So more healing, the better. And we'll go over all that. Selune would be the perfect deity for this. As for the ability score, 16 wisdom, and then we're going to go 14 constitution, and you can build around either strength or dexterity. I think that dexterity is probably going to be the better choice early on in the game, so that's what we're going to go with. So we'll take our dexterity up to 16, 14 constitution, and 16 wisdom. And we can also dump intelligence because we're going to use the intelligence circlet to be able to increase our intelligence without having to put many points into it, because there's no real helmet that works perfectly with this build. Level 2, we get ourselves the Preserve Life, which is really nice for healing, and use our channel divinity. So for the spells we want, command, sanctuary is essential, shield of faith, and guiding bolt, these are all essential. Inflict wounds can be nice, but you can also swap that out for healing word or even create or destroy water, because everyone knows it's a good spell. At level 3, we get some higher level spells and we get some fun ones. We also get ourselves aid and lesser restoration, so we don't have to take those with our spells. I would recommend for the next level, hold person. Prayer of healing can be nice, but you can only use this outside of combat. Hold person is going to give a lot of utility for just saving your teammates, because hold person allows your much more powerful fighters to be able to get critical hits in on them. So that's the goal there. At level 4, we get to choose another cantrip, and Toll the Dead just works great. Then for our next level spell, Spiritual Weapon will help draw aggro away from your teammates. As a bonus action, the Cleric doesn't have many good bonus actions, so it's perfect for us. And ability score improvement will be our feat taking up our wisdom. Once we make our way to level 5 here, we're going to get the Destroy Undead and our Revivify, Beacon of Hope, Creative Food and Water, and Life Transference spells, which are pretty fun if you got Mistress Spells mod, which I highly recommend. And for our next level spell, Spirit Guardian, one of the best spells in the game, just because you can run around as a Beyblade destroying everyone. Glyph of Warding is also really nice, but so is Mass Heal Wounds, because you can use this to heal everyone with a bonus action. And at level 6, we get ourselves a Blessed Healer. Healing others heals you as well. When you cast a spell level 1 or higher on another creature, you regain health points equal to 2 plus a spell's level. So just some nice overall healing, which can proc a bunch of different effects. At next level, Glyph of Warding is nice, but also Animate Dead can be useful because you can summon up zombies, which will draw aggro away from your teammates. Not really healing, but in the action economy of Baldur's Gate 3, keeping your teammates safe is important. Now we also get ourselves Death Ward and Guardian of Faith with our divinity spells, but also Aura of Life if you got Mistress Spells. Gives resistance to necrotic damage, and you can regain, or downed allies will regain 1 health point. And Aura of Purity, which gives resistance to poison damage, advantage to constitution saving throws. Pretty nice. And for our next leveled spell, we can go with like Banishment if you want to. Freedom of Movement's actually really nice for snapping ally out of a stun. Difficult terrain can't slow them down. They can't be magically paralyzed. It's pretty useful, honestly. But Warding Bond can also be nice, giving a +1 armor class to saving throws, and whenever they take damage, you take the same amount of damage. There's a couple options here, depending on how you want to build around your character. At level 8, we get our Radiant Divine Strike, which whenever we do a melee attack, which is actually triggered on hand crossbows, which is actually very useful here, but I'll show you how to make the most of that. Next level, we'll take Warding Bond, but also the protection from poison can be decent. And we're going to take an ability score improvement to up our wisdom up to 20. And then once we get ourselves a level 9 here, we're going to get ourselves Mass Cure Wounds and Greater Restoration. And for our spells, I would recommend taking Insect Plague. This is great crowd control, and Flame Strike. I'll also show off combat. Even though this is a healer, I'll show you how to get the most out of that. So we got our Divine Intervention here at level 10. We get another choice in spell, Word of Radiance, and we're going to take another spell here that's Planar Binding can actually be pretty useful too. As I've mentioned, Greater Undead can be nice. Enhanced Ability is also a pretty useful one. We're going to go with this here. And once we get ourselves to level 11, this is where we get one of our most powerful spells with Planar Ally, because we can actually summon in a Diva that'll heal for us. We also get Create Undead, which is nice. Blade Barrier, you might want to take heal, 70 healing flat out, and it also has a unique interaction with the Dark Urge. As for healing spells, this is obviously not a dice roll, it's just a flat out 70 healing, which is nice, but you use your level 6 spell slot, so I think wisely about that. You can take it. Obviously, for maximizing healing, we're just going to put it on there, but you don't always want to use it. And I'll show you how to actually overcome the level 11, or how to overcome using your level 6 spells. I'll show you a little trick. Next, we're actually going to add in the Artificer here, which I mentioned, and for the cantrips that will take Mage Hand, because we can use that to have a hand throw potions for our team. And then also Magic Stone can be fun, or Flare Bolt, or Thorn Whip. Thorn Whip's nice, you can pull creatures towards you, which can actually pull them in certain ways that you might want. And for our next level spells, you can see here, it's giving us a bunch of options from higher levels like Cone of Cold. Mirror Image is a really nice one, which will increase your armor class by 9. Invisibility is good for just survivability. False Life gives temporary health, which is nice. I also like to give the team extra movement speed with Long Strider. I think that's just great for buffs. Grease can be another good spell to help save your teammates. Thunder Wave can be decent too. I also like Shield to increase your armor class by 5. This is effective for keeping you alive. And then for this infusement, I think that the enhanced defense for the +1 or +2 to armor class is huge. And then getting advantage on concentration is also nice. For our subclass, we're going with the alchemist. This is actually a healer because you can create potions, and this is actually where we're getting a lot of our benefits from. And we also get the replicate magic item, which can give us some magic items, which is pretty cool what you can do with this. At level 2, we get ourselves some more spells here, with invisibility being a good one to keep your teammates safe. And you also get greater invisibility, which is nice. Gaseous form can keep them safe too. It doesn't always have to be like a very offensive focus spell that you want to go with. We're going to go with mirror image and greater invisibility, keeping your team safe and yourself safe. The nice thing about mirror image is it actually doesn't require concentration. Now for our inventions here at level 2, this is where we get really strong, because we're going to take quick throw, which you can throw using a bonus action, so we can throw health potions. This is where we become very strong. And we also want to go with Tactical Aid, which you can cast help for free. So whenever a teammate's downed, you don't have to use an action to pick them back up, which is huge. As a healer, that's ideal. At level 3, we get to choose some more spells, but I actually think it's best at this point to add in the Rogue Thief. As you guys can imagine, an extra bonus action is huge when you can throw a potion, which can heal great amounts of healing. So there we go, that extra bonus action from the Thief, that's ideal. So we're going to keep that. And then we're going to bounce ourselves back into the Artificer, because we also get the right tools for the job, giving us a few different items, a bottle of water, which is nice, as you'll see in a moment. And for our next level spell, you can take some of the stronger ones. Stone Skin isn't really that good as you might think it might be. Heroism's okay, giving 5 temporary health points per turn, but not super useful. Ice Storm, on the other hand, is great crowd control because you can create ice surfaces with this. So keeping your teammates safe, because wizards will slip and lose their concentration, and martial classes will slip and not make it to fighting you, which is huge. So I like to take that spell just for the amount of benefits that come with it. Hypnotic Pattern can also be a good choice, or even Oluk's Resilient Sphere, which will block all damage and spell effects. So these two actually work well. And then for our proficiencies, hand crossbows, because if you have a hand crossbow, you can make an offhand attack and do your Divine Strike Radiant on it, and it's actually pretty strong. Now for our next spells, I love Cone of Cold, so we're just going to take that there, because if you have Cree Water set up, being able to sit down a Cone of Cold can be extremely useful as a crowd control method, as it creates ice surfaces. And then for our next level spell, even invisibility can be pretty useful, because we're going to have a lot of level 2 spells, which you'll see. And then we're going to go with something like dexterity checks will receive intelligence, and you can also go with the strength saving throws and checks will take intelligence modifier. Now for our feat, alert for the +5 to initiative is nice. Having a healer go first can be useful, but also having your healer go second can be useful too. So Warcaster gaining advantage on saving throws and maintain concentration on a spell is really effective if we don't take the other version of this. There's a few different good options, like Heavy Armor Master for better survivability on yourself. I like the alert feat for the +5 initiative, but again, you can go with any of those other choices. And then we get ourselves a subclass feature. You don't receive damage from our bombs, but we also get stronger healing potions and other potion things. I'll take Ray of Frost here because this can reduce the target's movement speed by 3 meters. And then with this, we'll also take another cantrip, or another choose spells. You can see we actually have a lot of these already, so this one's really your choice. Thunderbolt can be okay, or even Fireball, just for a couple damage options, since we already got the healing all covered. And this is our final level here. So with this, we're going to take another couple spells. These, again, it's up to you. You could take like False Life for a little bit of extra temporary health, or even like Enlarge or Reduce. It's kind of funny as a healer. And then we're going to take the Repulsion Shield. Once per combat, you can reflect any range attack for 3 turns. This is good safety. You can also go with a Restore level 3 spell slot, but we have a lot of spell slots. And for our inventions, I think it's best to go with the hide allies, which you can hide all allies within 9 meters, which is really nice. And then you can also go with something like the Elixir Instinct. When you have an Arcane Jolt, you can cast Experimental Elixir, which will give you a free healing potion for free. Or we can go fast thinking to give ourselves an extra reaction point. If you would have taken like a Sentinel perk, I should have mentioned that as well. Sentinel can go really well there too. You can also go with like Agile Defense for the free casting of Hide or Disengage if you wanted to, or even Reactive Shield just to be able to turn a dex save into having or negating damage for better survivability for yourself, because your healer needs to live. This was very long-winded, but you can see we got a lot of spells, and this is where things get a little bit crazy. So we're gonna take for armor. I would recommend going with like the best heavy armor that you got. You can go with the armor persistence. That's going to be a decent one, 24 armor class there. If you got the Helldesk armor, it'll give us 25, and then with a shield, that can be even higher. The armor persistence will give us resistance and blade ward, which you can actually give ourselves if we take the reviving hands. This will give us blade ward and death ward, and then with this ring here, it'll give us bless on heals, which we're going to heal everyone pretty much every turn. Now, what this ends up looking like, I also have the defender flail for the +1 armor class, giving us 27 AC, and Shield of Iconia's Walking Fortress. I also have the Whispering Promise, which gives us bless for 2 turns when you heal a creature, and this will heal for additional 2 points. You can use the Ring of Protection, give your armor class to 28. The Amulet of Devout here, you get a +2 bonus to spell save DC, and an additional Channel Divinity, which is nice. I'm using the Helm of Baldur, but as I mentioned, the Warped Headband of Intelligence will allow us to hit our spells that come from the Artificer a lot higher frequency. Cloak Protection 2, and the Reviving Hands for the Blade Ward and Death Ward. Now, what we want to be doing first is actually taking like the Staff of Spell Power, and we can use the Arcane Battery and use this to summon in ourselves a free planar ally. Now, the what's nice about the Diva is this actually comes with Revivify and it's strong radiant damage. The Cambion can help with Draining Kiss, which is kind of nice. And the Genie, which is my choice because it has Thunder Wave, which is just an easy knockout for you. So you can use this to push enemies off of ledges, which is really nice. And then we're just going to take our Defender Flail back, which will give us a bit higher armor class and survivability, which is nice just to have. You don't have to use that weapon. It's entirely your choice, but we're going to go with this here. And what this will end up looking like when we get into a combat encounter, I will show off here as it's a pretty strong one. So before getting into combat, we'd like to use like our enhanced defense here, which will further increase our armor class. We got 30 with haste applied, and then we can also use our experimental elixir to create ourselves some potions. So this will make random potions. Just be mindful of that. It may not be what you're looking for, but whenever you pop that, you'll get a experimental elixir, and then once you check your inventory, you're going to get yourself a new potion, which we got the Aegis Draught. So sometimes they're good, sometimes not. +1 armor class until the end of combat. We'll pop that 31 armor class. Nice. So then I guess we'll just wait for our next turn, and then I'll start combat here. I'm going to do this with teammates because obviously with a healer, we want to show off how you can make the most out of your healing. But I'll just start off with like an Ice Storm to create some crowd control because these ice surfaces are extremely useful. So good way to start combat off. And we'll just get right into things here. So we rolled a good initiative, so we rolled high. We were able to take out some people there. And we can also increase our armor class by 9, so we can get a 40 armor class if we were to use Mirror Image here, which is really nice. But we can also call down our Guardian of Faith, and what's nice about the Guardian of Faith is it's going to attack and keep your team safe. So now we get counterspelled, so I can that's nice. I'm gonna place that again, and we're gonna keep ourselves safe with that. I should have probably did Mirror Image to give ourselves that 40 armor class, but this will attack for us and keep our teammates safe. And then also on top of that, we got our spiritual weapon. I always go with the maul because the maul will help you set up your whole person, as the daze attack is really nice. And it's just something else to grab aggro for the team. And then we also got ourselves like our Shield of Faith that we can cast, or Sanctuary. As we want to keep someone safe, we can use Sanctuary to do that. So you can pop down Sanctuary on like Gale, for instance. And with that, he's going to be safe. So we can go with that there. And we're going to be throwing potions too once people start getting hurt. So I'll end our turn there. And then you can obviously just do whatever with your other teammates. I'm going to focus on showing off our healing abilities. So we'll skip past the enemy's turns. Also, as I mentioned, our Genie's really nice because he can just get rid of people. He's great at just deleting enemies. So I guess we got our you get a shifting winds, which is a teleport, so you can teleport him into a prime position, and then he's got Thunderwave there, which you can see will potentially knock one of them off the ledge. That's a free knockout. That's where the genie is goated, and he's also pretty good at just traversing through your ice because he's immune to prone. So highly recommend the genie just for those reasons alone. And I'll show it off what I meant. So offhand attack crossbow from Shadowheart. She's a Tempest Cleric, so whenever she attacks, she gets her Divine Strike. So sometimes this can be really big damage. An extra 8 damage on top of that. Offhand crossbow attacks are nice for that reason. Not ideal, but we lost our haste because Gale got hit there. So we also have a decent concentration with Insect Plague to be able to stop targets from moving around as much. As you can see, there's unfortunately command dropped on a few of them. We can also drop Hold Person, which is really strong, or one of the other spells that we got. Flame Strike being a bit more confined to a specific area, and then we can also add in many of our other options for spells. Even something like Spirit Guardians can be pretty nice if you want to drop that down yourself, because this will apply a little bit of damage and a slow. With this, if you're going to use Spirit Guardians, it's also nice to be able to, I guess we can't move because we have opportunity attacked, but whenever you use that, what's nice about Spirit Guardians is you can also apply Radiating Orbs if you have the gear for that. We have ourselves like Mass Healing Word here, which is a pretty useful spell just to heal a small amount. We can also upcast it. It does 1d4 per level. However, the best healing in the game is actually to use our Quick Throw here. And you can see we got a lot of things we can throw, but a Potion of Supreme Healing. So we can throw this and try to hit 2 of them at a time. Don't attack them with it because that's going to cause a bit of damage, but you can put these in a position where they heal 2 people at once. So that's obviously ideal. So we'll throw this into a spot where we can heal both of them. I guess we can throw it here. Path is interrupted. Nice. I don't know why it's interrupted. Oh, I clicked it in a very bad spot. So the Potion of Supreme Healing is now just floating there. That sucks. I meant to throw that a little bit better. And then our heal here can hit a lot, and it'll give everyone Blade Ward and Blast too, so that's pretty nice. But a couple bonus action options for healing is pretty good, so that's something we'll take. This is going to be goofy, but I'm going to do it anyway just for the lulz. And almost, yeah, there we go. I pushed Minsk the furthest. That's funny. But Gale, I'm having the worst time with my concentration, so we're just going to lay down a lightning bolt there. Just hit a couple of them. Having Fireball and that gives us a bunch of options so that we don't hit our teammates. And then we'll also just drop a Mass Healing Word here so that we can continue to keep Bless and Blade Ward up. And then we can do our throw bonus action to throw that healing potion there to hopefully get both of them with the heals. So we'll throw that there. And for some reason it did not heal them. I don't know why, but that's okay. Another way that the Cleric is really strong is our command spell. So we can use Command Grovel and upcast this so that we can hit multiple targets, pretty much taking them out. 99% chance of hitting with most of these here, so you do have to have them obviously in range for that to happen. But I guess we got all the remaining enemies there. I didn't have a level 4 spell slot to be able to do that with. We have multiple level 2s and level 1s because of the way that the Artificer works. But you can see there, we were able to keep them all down, so that's perfect for keeping our team alive. So then we can hit ourselves with a heal, and that heals obviously quite a bit, so very, very nice. And then we can again go with our throw to throw a healing potion, or you can also bonus action throw some other things, which is fun. So if you want to release like an exploding thing like the sanguine explosions here, those can be pretty nice. Obviously that's going to hurt our teammate Gale there, but that's okay, we'll just do that. It's the price you got to pay, and he blocked that one. But yeah, this is pretty fun. And the final enemy that we got here can probably be taken out by our genie friend with his good old-fashioned thunder wave. Push him right off the ledge for the big W. So there it is. That is the best healer build guide in Baldur's Gate 3 level 20. This was a request, so if you have any requests of your own, feel free to leave them in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you found this video useful, and I'll see you all in the next video.